Hi, my name is Carter Randolph. I'm here to inform you about the process of lubrication. If you ever hear a machine squeal real loud or get really hot sometimes, most people would just think to replace a couple parts and that'd be it and go on with their job. That'll fix it for a little while, but that's not the main problem. If you really want machines to work good, you need to lube them up. I'm here to explain to you how the process of lubrication can help you in your manufacturing plant or machine company. Many people do not understand the process and major role that lubrication plays when working on machines and making them run efficiently. It is very important that lubrication is a big part of your daily routine because I grease at my workplace every day and I am there. Every day I am there and I used to slack off, which caused machines to break down for a long time. So I learned my lesson that lubrication is very important in a manufacturing company. Lubrication can be broken up into three main areas, which are why it is important, different types of it, and different ways of distributing lubrication. The first thing we need to learn is why lubrication is important. Lubrication is the control of friction and wear by the introduction of a friction-reducing film between moving surfaces in contact, which I got from machinerylubrication.com. Lubrication is some kind of substance you add to a machine to make it run more efficiently and last longer. Everybody wants a reliable plant with predictable maintenance schedule, and a key part of achieving that goal is to ensure that your lubrication program is organized, well-funded, and employing the best practices across the board, which I got from bearingnews.com. The role of lubrication is to reduce friction, prevent wear, protect equipment from corrosion, control temperature, control contamination, and provide a fluid seal, which is from machinerylubrication.com. All of these roles play a major factor in a machine's reliability because as maintenance technicians, it is way easier to just lubricate the machine than to have a breakdown and replace a bunch of costs, which cause downtime. For example, one of my responsibilities at work is to grease the sand polisher, and I slacked off of that for a couple of weeks, and it showed. The sand polisher ended up going down, and we have never really had to take it apart for it, and then I've taken an 8-hour shift just to take it apart and get it all back together and replace the bearings. So now I know the importance of it, and we spent a lot of money trying to order all the new parts and stuff. So the importance of lubrication was really important, and that was my fault that I was not properly doing it. Now that you know why lubrication is very important, it is time to learn the different types of lubrication. There are 4 major types of lubrication. You have oils, greases, penetrating lubricants, and dry lubricants. First one we are going to talk about is oils. Oils are thin liquids made of long polymer chains with additives for various extra properties. Oils are usually used on hinges, bearings, tool maintenance, sharpening blades. You use oils when you want to lubricate something without the resistance inherent in using grease. You need lubrication to wick into small spaces without having to take anything apart. The second major type of lubricant is grease. Greases are made by using oil and mixing it with thickeners. They use grease for gears. They also use it for bearings, chains, and linkages. Used when you need to lubricate. You need lubrication to stay put and stick to surfaces for a long time. You want to seal out contaminants such as water or dust. You use a machine so infrequently that you may forget to oil it. The third major type of lubricant is penetrating lubricants. Penetrating lubricants are the saviors of many stuck bolt components, loosening years of rust and debris in minutes. Like at work, we use air coil to get out all of our bolts and stuff that have been stuck in the machine for a long time that are kind of rusted in there and corroded in there. They also have like WD-40. I know a lot of guys use that in their garages and stuff. That's like one of the most common things you see. They're mainly used on just getting bolts loose and unstuck, stuff like that. The final major type of lubricant is dry lubricant. Dry lubricants are made of lubricating particles such as graphite, molybdenum, disulfide, silicone, or PTFE. They are used on 3D printer rails, threaded rods, locks, and hinges. You use when you have tiny parts that shouldn't be gunked up by grease or oil that will attract dust. You need to keep surrounding surfaces clean, and your surfaces are exposed to extremely high heat or pressure, which would typically oxidize oils. Probably the two main lubricants you guys are used to though is oil and grease. That's all I know that most manufacturing company use on their machines. I mean, they all have the penetrating lubricants to help them on their daily jobs and tasks, but the two most you're going to be using are grease and oil. We use that at our work. We just mainly use grease on everything. Our old high pressure line, which is actually getting taken out, we would use oil, but oil causes a lot of leaks and it can be a big mess sometimes. Grease, it may be more expensive, but it leaves less of a mess and is easier to control. And I got that information from magazine.com. Since you know all the different types of lubrications, it is now time to discuss the distribution of those lubrications. For this slide, I have a picture of the different ways of distributing lubricants. For the penetrating lubricants, as you've seen, they were just in aerosol cans. You just mainly spray all of those. Same with the dry lubricants. But for like grease and oil, most plants you'll have a manual grease pump. Some plants have like an automatic grease pump where it automatically pumps the grease into the machine. Say you need like a lot of grease to go through a whole machine, that'd probably be your ideal choice. You have an oil pump. I know at our workplace we mainly just use, like, we have a few oil pumps. We used to use the big grease pumps, but we don't really use those anymore, just for facts that they just, for money costs, I'm pretty sure, and all the grease that we used to put into those. So now we mainly all just use battery powered grease guns or manual grease pumps. Since you know all the importance of distributing lubrications, why is lubrications important, and the different types of lubrications, it is time that you apply this process to your workplace. Remember, lubricating machines is very important. There are 4 different types of lubrications for different reasons, and there are many ways to distribute that lubrication. Because sometimes you just gotta lube it up to keep it up. That's it.